Foddian, or rage games, is a genre of game that only the bravest of gamers will ever try their hand at. The genre is named after the hit game Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, a platform with weird movement controls that has absolutely no checkpoint, meaning that even one tiny slip-up could cause you to lose insane amounts of progress. The reason players will continue playing these infuriating games is that as you progress and fall, you become more accustomed to the environment and the controls, so getting back to where you fell from isn't as hard as it once was. And now, as a professional game developer, I wanted to dip my toes into the world of rage platformer games. It definitely wasn't easy. The first step to creating any type of rage game was coming up with the movement controls that the players would have to learn. As you look at all the famous rage games in the past, each of them has had some strange movement that has a learning curve to it, meaning that while you might not be progressing through the game in the standard sense, you're progressing in your ability to move around in the world. I decided that I wanted to create a game with controls similar to Jump King, where you charge your jumps in a direction and can bounce off of walls, except I would make the controls randomized every so often. Now that I know how the player will be controlled, it's time to create a basic layout for how I want the rooms to look like in the game. I decided that I didn't want to be too mean to my friends and viewers, so I made the game pretty short, although I could have made it so much worse. Also, this is my favorite part right here. You can see I added this section under the final room, so just in case anyone was doomed to fall down on the final room, they would be sure to hate me forever. Now, obviously, this would look a lot better with some actual artwork, so I borrowed some assets from Kenny, and just like that, the game looks beautiful. I then imported the main character into the game, which will be this frog asset chosen by my Discord. I mainly wanted to get the falling physics for the character right, but after getting that done pretty easily, I decided to just go ahead and implement the full movement system with animations as well. I also created a super simple death animation with a screen effect for fading in and out, which totally isn't stolen from Celeste. Please don't sue me. Now, there's one thing that I didn't like about Jump King that I wanted to fix in this game, which is having a bar indicator for how much your jump is currently charged. In Jump King, you kinda have to learn from trial and error how to get jumps with varying power, but I feel like it would be better just to have a bar over the frog's head, so I created this bar UI element and attached it above the frog in the game and made it so that anytime the frog was charging a jump, it would fill the bar according to how charged the jump is, and also make it change color, and woo! That is a long explanation for just a jump bar. Alright, next order of business. Subscribing. Wait, I didn't write that in the script. Well, I guess while we're at it, why don't you go ahead and smash the subscribe button if you're liking the video, because it really does help me out. Alright, back to the actual game making. The actual next order of business was adding some background music to the game, because sound effects are crucial to having a good game. I've been playing a lot of Celeste recently, which is known for its powerful sound design, so I decided to utilize a technique that they use, which is a dynamic soundtrack. A dynamic or adaptive soundtrack is basically a track that starts out slow, and as you progress through the level, the track gets more and more intense. Here's an example of a level of Celeste at the very beginning, and here's the end of that level. So I found this asset pack online, and made it so that the beginning area would sound calm like this, the sandy area would sound pixelated like this, and the snowy final area would sound like a Guitar Hero's final boss nightmare. Now that I'm getting close to finishing the game, I started by fixing the main character to have an outline so that it fits the rest of the game assets, and also decided to just add stuff that every game should have, like a pause menu, windscreen, and main menu. Ah, get it? Frogian game, like foddian game, but with a frog?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Next, I added in some sound effects, which are your pretty basic stuff that you would expect. Jump, wall bounce, fall, and die. Now comes the fun part. Up until now, I was basically recreating Jump King, which is what I'm now dubbing medium mode, but now I have to make the game that I originally intended, hard mode. So I started by making a timer that would randomize the inputs, which was working, and then I added a UI timer at the top left of the screen so that you would know the moment the inputs would switch. The final touch on this infuriating game would be creating a badge on the windscreen of hard mode to differentiate it from beating medium mode, and the game is finished. Now let's see how my viewers enjoyed the game. Perfect! If you like this video and want to see more like it, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, because it really does help me out. And also consider joining the Discord channel in the description of the video if you want to join our community. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.